Thank you so much. The Honorable Zane Lightburn, Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, other ministers, excellencies, distinguished delegates, partners, and fellow stewards of our shared environment. Good day to all of you, and to our visiting delegates, welcome to Nassau. We are certainly delighted that you have felt the warmth and hospitality of our Bahamian people. But I am deeply honored to deliver this statement as a representative of civil society organizations here in the Bahamas and to stand in solidarity with our partners across Latin America and the Caribbean as we gather at a defining moment for our region. Hosting Cop4 of the Escazú Agreement is not symbolic. It is a signal that small island development states and indeed countries across Latin America and the Caribbean are not on the margins of environmental governance. We are shaping its future. As a CSO representative in the Bahamas, we welcome you not only as host, but as partners in accountability, in advocacy, and in action. Our country's accession to the Escazú Agreement in June of 2025 was a commitment to transparency, to equity, and to ensuring that environmental governance works for people. But today, we must go further. Across our region, we are witnessing a common reality: rising development pressures, increasing climate vulnerability, and too often, decisions made without the full participation of the people most affected. We have seen coastlines altered without adequate consultation, wetlands filled, mangroves cleared, communities left to grapple with the consequences of environmental disasters, whether from hurricanes intensified by climate change or developments that did not fully account for ecological risk. This is not sustainable development. And we must be clear: sustainable development cannot be defined solely by economic gain. It must be defined by balance between people, planet, and prosperity. Escazú reminds us that environmental protection is a human right. It is about the sponger in Long Island, the fisherman in Exuma, the farmer in Eleuthera, the fly fishing guides on Andros, the families in Abaco and Grand Bahama rebuilding after disaster. And equally, it is about communities all across Latin America and the Caribbean facing similar challenges, where livelihoods, culture, and survival are deeply tied to our environment. And it is about ensuring that their voices are not just heard, but are respected. The three pillars of Escazú are not theoretical. They are practical tools for transformation. Access to information means no community should be left in the dark about projects that affect their land, water, or livelihoods. Public participation means engagement must be early, meaningful, and continuous, not reactive, not selective, and certainly not symbolic. Access to justice means that when concerns are raised, they are addressed fairly, without intimidation, without marginalization, and without victimization. Because let us be honest, across our region, too many voices are dismissed when they challenge development decisions. Too many advocates are labeled as obstacles rather than recognized as essential partners. This must change. Escazú is the first agreement of its kind to explicitly protect environmental defenders across Latin America and the Caribbean. So let this Cop4 here in Nassau be the turning point where protection moves us from promise to practice, where those who speak for the environment are supported, not sidelined, where advocacy is not seen as opposition, but as a critical pillar of good governance. We call on governments all across Latin America and the Caribbean to lead clearly and courageously, to define what sustainable development truly means in the regional context, to establish transparent standards that guide decision-making, to ensure that development does not come at the cost of ecosystems, culture, or community well-being, and importantly, to create space for civil society to contribute without fear or dismissal or reprisal. Because inclusive governance is not a weakness, but it is a strength. This is our moment, a moment to bridge the gap between policy and people, between commitments and implementation, between ambition and accountability. Let the outcomes of COP4, shaped here in Nassau, reflect not only our shared challenges, but our shared resolve. Let them reflect a region that is unity, resilient, and steadfast in its commitment to environmental justice. Thank you.